Hello everyone. Today we're going to learn how to solve a system of linear inequalities. We're going to do that by graphing. Before we get started, we're going to get rid of this. This part right here, as you might remember, we would start off with systems of linear equations, which we're not doing today, but they're similar. You had a linear equation, and then you would graph two lines. Remember that? You graph two lines, and wherever they crossed, whatever those coordinates were, that was the solution to the system of linear equations, and that's kind of what the graph looked like. And then we did it by computations, by substitution, and then by elimination. The only thing that we're going to do on these inequalities is by graphing. We're not going to actually do any of the computations. And of course, this has to do with T6. Let's get started. All right, so on the first one, we have x is greater than 3. X is greater than 3. So go ahead and make yourself a number line. When you do, leave yourself some room because we're going to actually turn this into a coordinate plane here in a little bit. You want to make sure that you get every last step on this. Make sure you get every last step on this. So when we do this, we need to think of this as x equals 3. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to put a little dot right there where x is equal to 3. Not y, but x. Okay? Now, ask yourself, if we were to graph this in just this one dimension here, as you remember, we would have put a circle here because it doesn't also equal, and then we would have carried the whole thing out to the end and picked up that arrow, and then we would have graphed x is greater than 3 on just a number line. But now we're going to do it with respect to 2 dimensions. Okay, so let's go ahead and get ourselves a coordinate plane. Go ahead and draw in the y here. Let's go put our 3 back here. Okay, put our 3 back here. And what I want to know is, what does x equal right here? X equals 3. If your mind jumped to -3, that's the y value. X equals 3 right here. And x equals 3 right here. And x equals 3 here and here. X equals 3 all the way up and down this. So what I want you to do is I want you to draw a line all the way up and down through x equals 3. Draw a line all the way up and down through x equals 3. Okay, now, if I were to shade this, where are the x equals 3? Where are they bigger than 3? Well, 4 is bigger than 3, 2 is not. It would be everything, there's that bell, it would be everything to the right, wouldn't it? Everything to the right of that would be where x is greater than 3. So that's what that looks like. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and look at what we got. Okay, we've got the x is equal to 3 here. Now, you might have noticed I went ahead and put in an or equal to. The reason I put in an or equal to is because if it's or equal to, the line is solid. It is a solid line. That shows that in this case, x could not only be greater than 3, but it could also equal 3. Okay, keep that in mind. That's something that you need to know. Now, since this is a system of linear inequalities, we have to have at least 2 lines. So let's look at this one here. That's where x is equal to 7. I'm going to go put a dot right where the 7 is. But since this one is not also equal to, instead of a solid line, I'm going to make a dashed or a dotted line. Either one will work, just as long as you show that it is not solid. Okay? So there we go. Now, we had x is 3, could be equal to 3. Now we have x is 7, but it does not equal 7. Now, if you are less than 7, that's everything to the left. Okay, so everything to the right of 3, right? That's greater than 3. Everything to the left of 7, that's that way. And what we end up doing is we end up shading everything in between. We end up shading everything in between. And that is the solution to that system of linear inequalities. So here's what it looks like. When we shade it in, there's the 2 lines. What it looks like when it's shaded in, it looks just like this. There is the solution to that one. Okay, and then we'll look at some more examples here in a moment.